For me as an alum, it was a good way for me to try to give back to the university. When I was a student in the undergraduate program for IST, there were a number of real-world projects that other companies had came to Penn State and said, we have opportunities for research projects for the students. And that was an area where I felt I learned significantly in terms of more than just opening a book and reading about it and being tested. You actually get to see what real-world problems there are out there that other companies are working on and give you more exposure to just the textbook knowledge and experience. So we have a number of projects. Everything at PPL is run as a project, especially in IT, and there's several areas where we could use some help for research activities and efforts where the number of students could certainly jump in and hit the ground running and help us where we may not necessarily have the opportunity to leverage some spare resources that are not really sitting around to help do that research for us.
The real-world problems that they provide the capstone course gives a completely different perspective for the students. It's one thing to be studying cases in class, but when it comes to the real-world problems where they actually have to go on site and interview the individuals involved in these projects, that gives them a completely different perspective.
As we get to know some of the quality students through those projects, help them find internships potentially and place them in positions at PPL by getting to know the students. And then ultimately we've had a lot of folks that were in those classes for the real world projects apply to full-time opportunities as well.
It was a really great opportunity to take the fundamentals of what I learned in the classroom, but then apply that in a real-world setting. And it's been a really great transition time for me as I approach full-time employment with PPL.
Mike Manning started out as an intern at PPL, and then he was actually engaged in again. It was really nice to see him back as part of that real-world project that we were working on for cloud computing. And then from there, that helped to keep him engaged with PPL, and based on a track record and his performance as an intern, as well as the progress that he made with that project and keeping in touch, he was able to then transition over and to get an opportunity to work as a full-time employee at PPL.
So my initial focus was strictly, let's bring a real-world project in so that our students can benefit from what is happening in the industry and have something to put on a resume that an employer is going to find value in beyond an internship. But then as we started to broaden this, it became apparent that everybody had a different way of looking at it. And so for the next corporate partner, Air Products, they were very passionate about mentoring students early and frequently.
So we had started talking a little bit about, well, what can we do to partner with Penn State Lehigh Valley? So we came up with different activities from pizza with a professional to engaging with mock interviews to a variety of activities where we really could get into the classroom, talk to students, tell them a little bit about what we have to offer, and really to have our professionals come and talk to them about what career opportunities were available.
I work for Air Products and Chemicals Incorporated, and I'm a Penn State alum. I decided to get involved with the Pizza with a Professional because I can share my story on how I got to where I am now and the steps I've taken and some of the challenges I've ran into in trying to get a job, starting an internship and building my network.
So if a Fortune 500 company could be this supportive of students at the university level and be so receptive to the benefits of the types of research that these students can do for them while they're undergraduates, that definitely for me opened up my eyes to the potential that there were other companies in the Lehigh Valley who might be equally interested in engaging with our students, and then just the natural networking that can occur.
As a Penn State alum, one of the things I always loved about my Penn State experience was after you leave the classroom, you also had great opportunities to go out into the community, wherever that is at any Commonwealth campus, and learn. For us to be able to have access to those students who also know the cutting edge of social media and tomorrow's technology and how we should be communicating with them, we get as much from them as hopefully they're getting from us.
Penn State Lehigh Valley had helped me connect with a lot of local companies here around the area, like PP&L and Air Products, where I landed my internship.
So it has been a tremendous benefit for our students and for our programs.